Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are going to talk about if the Dungeon Master is a storyteller. So let's get started. Recently, a couple friends and I were discussing if the Dungeon Master is a storyteller. And before I get into all that, I just want to quickly say there is no one way to play tabletop RPGs. If your group disagrees with what I'm saying in this video and they're having a great time, then you're doing it right. And that's okay. Do what you want to do at your game tables. Don't let some internet jabroni like myself tell you how to play your games if you're having a good time. But if you think things could be better and think things could be handled differently that would increase the enjoyability for everybody at your group, then subscribe to this channel. Watch this whole video. Share it with your friends. All of that stuff helps us out tremendously. So with that, let's get into the meat of what this is about. When I was talking to a couple of my friends after our game the other night, both of which have DM'd games, one of them said the DM is not a storyteller. To which I agreed. The other one, talking to them, said that they do view themselves a little bit as a storyteller. To which I agreed. When it comes down to it, what is storytelling? Typically, storytelling is discussing something that's already happened. So, with that said, a DM can't really be a storyteller unless they're talking about things in hindsight. Again, I don't think that matters. We're getting hung up on semantics here. And, you know, when it comes down to it, I think when people hear that the DM is the storyteller, they think, oh, we're just living in the DM's world. We're just following his path to what his story actually is. And we're just there. And I don't think that's true. To me, a tabletop RPG experience is a shared storytelling experience. It's got probability from dice, so there's no telling what the actual outcome is going to be. You can stack things in the player's favor or against the players to get a specific outcome you hope for. But again, you're not telling a story. As a DM, you are planting obstacles. You're putting conflict in the world. You should be reacting to what the players are doing almost as much as the players are reacting to what you are doing. And this is what makes it not storytelling. Storytelling is what you do after the game is over, after the campaign's over. But in the moment, you're collaboratively creating a story that, whether it's one player telling it later on or another player, the perspectives are still going to be very different. And the feel is going to be different. What one character feels compared to another is going to be different. What the DM feels is going to be different than the players. I would still argue you might have an idea for what your campaign is going to be like, but your players are going to change that. How many times have you seen someone post online that, oh, my players killed my big bad evil guy and we were just 4th level. I wasn't expecting that until like level 10. You know? Like they did something you didn't expect. So you're not telling a story. If you want to tell stories, you're probably better off writing books. But in this case, the players did something amazing. They took out the big bad evil guy, or at least the big bad evil guy of the moment. Now, as a DM, you should adapt to this. You should think, okay, what does this do to my world? They just killed the leader of this group. Well, there's still guys part of that group out there. So maybe somebody steps up from within the organization to become the leader. Maybe somebody outside comes in and recruits them into their organization. And now, you know, they're a more powerful organization and they become the big bad evil guy. Maybe you killed the Goblin King and the goblins now went and sought help from a local dragon, or maybe a group of hobgoblins took them in, or something like that. The story can change. Your plans can change. Now, personally, when I am prepping a campaign ahead of time, I do an outline, assuming certain things are going to happen over the course of the whole campaign. And I revisit that outline very frequently. As the players go through an arc, depending on what happens, it might change my outline. I might add points to my outline. I might remove points from my outline because they took out a big bad evil guy or they did something completely unexpected. So you're always adjusting to your players. So to me, do I think the DM is a storyteller? Not necessarily. I don't. I can understand why people think that's the case. I understand there are different play styles that can dictate if a DM's a storyteller or the players are the ones, collaboratively storytelling. I personally love to have a lot of player agency from my players. I love it when they give me things such as NPCs they know while we're playing the game. Just off the top of their head, they're improving. I love that. I don't like to handcuff my players when they come up with a cool idea in the moment. And if it's related to the world's lore or whatever, I go with it most of the time. Because that, to me, is where the fun is. But if you strictly want to tell a specific story and you're not going to let players impact it or alter it, then you're probably in the wrong hobby. That's not to say you shouldn't be playing, because there's probably plenty of players out there who will love to go on your railroad. But really, it sounds like you should write books more so than run a game of D&D. Again, your group's having fun, disregard this. If you sense your players are not having fun and you run it a little bit like that, consider, letting them contribute to it a little bit more. Try different things. We'll do more videos in the future about ways you can bring the creative side out of your players to add to the world and things like that. But this video was just to focus more on whether the DM is a storyteller. So what do you think? Is the Dungeon Master a storyteller? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Leave a comment and let's get some conversation going. If you want to have a more open dialogue with me, you can join my Discord. Where over there we talk about all sorts of things from miniature painting, world building, to topics like this. And if you want to support this channel, you can watch more of my videos. Watch the whole thing. That is way more helpful than anything else you can do. And also, if you want to support us financially, you can either purchase something like this hoodie from the link in the description, or you can go on over to Patreon and give us a donation as low as $1, which gets you access to random tables and anything else we've created as we create our world in the month of March. For the 30-day world building, I will be posting what we do. And so you can get in on that and get some free PDFs that maybe inspire some things out of you. With that, this is Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on.